injury, and he was looking to take over the family. I took him out. Junior thinks he did the right thing. He was trying to take. He was a rebel. So now he puts Carmine Sessa, who grew up under Greg. So that was a little. He was thinking to appease Greg. Oh, Carmine's the consigliere. So he asks Carmine to do the same thing he asked Jimmy to do. Go get the captains to come over. So he comes over to Greg, and I'll never forget. Greg just busted out laughing in his face. He said, he's going to do the same thing to you he did to Jimmy. You're not going to get all the captains to come over. It's impossible. So now Carmine panics. He goes to hit Vic Orena. Okay? He brings 2 or 3 other guys in the car with him. And that's another mistake, Calamity. If he really wanted to make that move, he should have had Greg in the car with him. Vic would have been dead that day. They pulled up, and Vic saw them, and they ran away. So to this day, I says, okay, so he saw you. What's the difference? You don't want the guy to see you while you're killing him? I mean, what is the difference? You should have pulled up. You were 4 guys. He was 1. So, I mean, I never understood that. So anyway, they run away. Now they're in hiding. So there's about 2 or 3 weeks where Greg is calling them rebels. They tried to kill me. Meanwhile, he was the rebel. But he's getting it out there, and because they're hiding out, they look like the rebels. And I remember Greg telling them, you guys get back here. Get to your clubs, run your business. Don't go hiding because you'll look wrong.
Yeah.
It still took some time. So for a while, we played the middle.
Yeah.
They didn't know where we were.
So, yeah, but the strategy. So I remember, first the strategy, and this is where I'm super fascinated, is the strategy on each side was different. Orena was like, stay out, do your job. We're not afraid. We got, power. So it's almost like, wait a second, that guy's going to work and not caring. They must have power. Versus you guys kind of huddled up and went to war, went to the matches, all that kind of traditional stuff. But it looked like Orena. So give me like the strategy of Arena's side, well, if I'm right, or versus a person.
They even start. Okay, so before any of the war starts, all the families are trying to negotiate. They know it's not going to be a good thing for anybody. It's going to disrupt business. It's going to bring heat. Yeah. So they tried a lot of politics. But if they weren't going to recognize Junior as the boss, there was no further discussion until they did that. So ultimately, there was some funerals, and we went to, and we were the only Persico guys at the funeral. Me, Greg, and Jimmy, and another fella, Joe, at one point. And they thought because of that we were with them, so we were sort of a spy. Almost on both sides. I don't want to say that because we were really with Junior, but they didn't know that. And once they found out that Greg was on Junior's side, and there were a few disputes over number business where we didn't pay attention to Vic's ruling, so now they knew we weren't with him. We did it our way. So now they knew where we stood, and then Vic made the first move. He had Billy Catola's crew, Wild Bill's crew, try to take Greg out. And they missed their opportunity. And then it was almost open season, okay, because Greg wanted revenge, of course. Carmine insisted he wait a little longer. We waited a little longer. We lost another guy, Hank the Bank. Okay. After that, Greg told Carmine it's open season. And I agreed because they were coming after us, and I didn't want to run. I didn't want to just be hiding out. I said, we're going to be here and stay around. We got to let them know they're in for a fight. And that's exactly what happened after that.
Okay, so but what I find interesting is the strategy behind it, the chess behind it. So obviously Scarpa essentially was a Persico guy. And candidly, you can't win this war without your guys' crew being on. It's almost like if whoever Scarpa goes with is probably going to win, let's be honest, right? But
you're right.
Bill Catola was influential, had money, maybe not as much, he's a powerful guy, but in a different way. So why do you think, and a smart guy, why do you think Bill went on Arena's side? Why, we kind of know why Greg stayed with Persico. Why do you think Billy Catola went with Orena?
Well, I'll tell you, generally, the guys that went to Vic Orena had gripes with Junior. Either they didn't move up the ladder when they thought they should have. Some of them owed money that they were never going to get out from under, huge amounts of money. Yeah. Others like Nicky Black, when he became a good fella, it was with a stipulation that he never rises above soldier.
Wow.
That was a rule engraved by Junior Persico because he didn't want to straighten him out. He made him because he was